Reporting live from Redline News Network World Headquarters, this is RNN. My name's Jet Likings.
And I'm Vic Morano. Let us recap this week in supercar news and redirect you into the automotive YouTube world.
We want to let you know that RNN will be going into a hiatus for the next 30 to 45 days. We're in the process of moving the studio to a sunnier location.
Don't worry, we have big plans for when we return, including interviews, news segments, and more.
Our new location will be located in the mecca of supercars, so let your imagination run.
Thank you for sticking with us during this time. Follow us on Instagram at Redline News Network to keep up during this hiatus.
Anyways, in this episode, we do have 45 supercars pulled over,
TRX drama,
DDE clickbait,
proving McLaren wrong,
a twin-turbo Gallardo is delayed.
Let's go.
Now, not much in the realm of supercar news this week outside of YouTube, but we do have one story for you. 45 supercars pulled over at once. Now, this wasn't just your regular cars and coffee rally. 45 supercars were allegedly street racing and speeding in Hong Kong last Sunday morning. Now, police were given a tip that this event would be happening and were ready to pull the crew over. Now, sources say no one was arrested, but certain cars were given tickets for modifications and one car even towed away. Cars included Lambos, Ferraris, GTRs, and more.
On to Stradman. Thursday's video, starting this one off with some bad news. Strad's twin-turbo Gallardo is going to be delayed due to the fact that it needs to have the motor rebuilt. Now, it's not all bad news. They were originally shooting for around 700 horsepower, but with a built motor, the goal is now over 1,000. He picks up the GTR and takes it for a first drive with the new FI exhaust, and this thing sings. Saturday's video, James heads to Summit Auto Lab to pick up his newly wrapped Aventador. He decided to not go with purple, but this time a matte iced blue titanium, and in my opinion, it's the best looking car he has.
One episode from Emelia, Hartford this week, and it was on Tuesday, and it was titled Making the Highest Horsepower C8 Even Faster. Now, this was a super techie episode for Emelia, and she was trying to figure out the shifting issues on her C8. Now, they did some data logging, basically checked everything down to the spark plugs, and it ended up being some codes related to the transmission. Now, the car was pulling timing when on the gas, if you remember, basically coughing and sputtering when under load. It ended up being an O-ring on the blow-off valve and some input mass airflow control issues. They get it figured out, and the car seems to rip. A drag strip episode will be coming soon, and we also find out that she just signed the lease on a new shop that is 3 times bigger. Congratulations, Emelia.
Shooting on over to Street Speed 717. Friday's video, Mike throws those 44-inch mud boggers on the Challenger General Lee and has some fun in the snow. I know these tires look crazy on the TRX, but when these are on the Challenger, it makes it look like a toy car. Monday's video picks up where we left off on Friday, with the Challenger stuck in the snow. Now they get it out and everything seems to be going well until they crack a wheel spacer. Now it's time to get into some drama. As you guys have probably seen already, Mike has sold his TRX to 2 of his friends. He had a ton of offers from people trying to buy the truck, but didn't want to sell it to just anybody. So 2 of his buddies offered to buy the truck with the intention of making a YouTube channel rebuilding it. Street Speed even offered to buy the truck back at the same price he sold it for if something went wrong. So long story short, his friends ended up selling the truck for $62,000. Now Mike sold it to them for $15,000. So unfortunately, it looks like his friends were just trying to flip the truck and make some money off of Mike's generosity. Kinda sad. But Mike, being the better person, doesn't want any drama on the channel. He says he wants it to end. No comments, anything like that. It's just water under the bridge. Wednesday, Street Speed heads to the airport to pick up the winner of the LBZ. This guy lives in Washington State and is actually driving it back about 3,000 miles. The winner of the Ford Raptor is also at InShane Designs and is driving that back to Georgia. With all the giveaways sorted out, Ladesh and Mike drive to Philadelphia to buy another Ram TRX. He plans on actually enjoying this truck and swears he's going to take care of it. No jumps.
Daily German Exotics with a 4-episode Redline week. Now, Thursday is what happened to the Mercy. Now, Damon has kept it a secret, but he has removed the wrap on the Mercy and it's yellow again. He also states that there may be a new titanium exhaust coming soon. Now, they end up meeting Rye Phipps at a gas station, talk some shop for a while, and then they leave off saying that the 488 wide body build could be coming as early as next week. Next episode on Saturday is the 720S smoking. Now, they start up the 720S with the full straight pipes, and it's the first time Damon is hearing it. Now, they take it out for a rip, and Damon seems pretty impressed with the noise. Now, the car starts smoking in traffic, so they get it back to SR, and it turns out to be the burn-off from the exhaust wrap. Now, the gang start removing the seats in the 720S to install the Senna seats, and Damon, Dave, and Anthony do all the work themselves. Now, they get the roll bar and the seats installed with only one snapped panel. Kind of cool to see the gang installing parts on their own. Now, Monday's episode is Dave unwrapping the Squadra. Now, Damon confirms Redline News Network's thoughts on the Lark P1 GTR livery for the 720S. You caught it here first. If you missed it, check out our episode last week where we show you a picture of what we think the DDE livery is going to look like. Anyways, Dave is thinking about purchasing a $1 million car, aka a hypercar, and possibly with the idea of selling the Squadra. Now, the guys unwrap the Squadra and return it to its original color, and they're unclear if they will rewrap it or if this is just prep to sell it. Now, last episode from them this week is definitely clickbait, and it's the twin turbo Ford GT. Now, Dave is thinking about a Ford GT for his next hypercar, and guess what? August just got one. They joke around about removing the supercharger and twin turboing it, and that it's a good investment and it's just going to go up in price. However, they sit in an F12, and Dave says he'd take the F12 over the Ford GT, but after pulling the GT out, he changes his mind.
Moving on to TJ Hunt. Friday's video starts off at West Coast Exotics, where TJ checks out a 4x4 squared G-Wagon, and he seems to fall in love with it. He then meets the father and son who bought his Audi R8. Now, these guys have a YouTube channel called Supercar Driven and are actually the same people who bought Dave from DDE's McLaren. If you guys want to go follow the life of TJ's old R8, go over and drop him a sub. Sunday's video, this one once again starts off at West Coast Exotics. What for? Well, TJ decided to purchase the 4x4 squared. This thing is a beast. We get a shot of it parked next to a regular stock G-Wagon, and the 4x4 squared just towers over it. Now, TJ's plans are to make some off-road content with this thing, so stay tuned. Wednesday's video is part 3 of turning a $5,000 BMW 335i into a $50,000 BMW. They cut the fenders and start the wide-body process.
One video from Tavarish this week, and it is proving McLaren wrong. Now, his 675LT seems to be mechanically sound after the first test drive. It needs an alignment and will also need all the body put back on, but the engine and trams seem like they're working. Now, they get it up on the alignment rack, and things aren't too crazy for just eyeballing it. Tavarish then does the alignment to bring it back to spec, and then Freddie takes it out for a test drive. As a reminder, there is no windshield or body panels, but again, the car seems to be running good. This is so awesome for Freddie. He's basically taken this totaled 675LT and has returned it back to running condition. Congratulations, Freddie.
Donut Media with 4 videos this week. Why nobody bought these? Is this a good idea? Every engine layout explained, and answering subscribers' questions. Doug Demuro with 2 car reviews this week, the Maybach 62 and the McLaren Artura.
Royalty Exotics with 1 video this week, and it's the slingshot flipping over on the Vegas Strip. Now, Houston gets to the scene, and the cops shut down Houston from getting anywhere close to the vehicle. This happened right in front of the Venetian on the Vegas Strip, and it sounds like the driver and passenger were sent to the hospital. However, no one was critically injured. Now, it seems like the driver swerved to avoid something and overcorrected it, hit a curb, and it flipped it over. Now, this thing is totaled. Houston ends the video by notifying us that he's moving and will need to take a break. However, this doesn't explain if it's a break from YouTube or what. Well, Vic, that brings us to about Redline this week. As a reminder, we will be on hiatus for the next 30 to 45 days, but when we come back, we'll be bigger and better.
Follow us on Instagram during this time off of YouTube for updates on RNN. Also, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss the first episode back.
Until next time, keep it at Redline.